So recently, I've been getting a lot of questions related to voiceover, particularly how I got started, how can you get started, how much money I make, how much money you can make. So I want to kind of address those questions. If you want to jump around the video, look in the description down below. You can find the different questions and stuff. That way you don't have to watch the whole video. What is voiceover? Or what does a voice actor do? Before I got into this, I had zero idea about voiceover and voice acting. I knew, Pixar movies, animation, anime. I knew all of those use voiceover. But voiceover is so much bigger than that, guys. Like voiceover, it's literally everything that has a voice without a face, right? So you think about TV commercials. You watch your Domino's pizza commercial, and get two Domino's pizzas for $7.99 or something like that. That's a voiceover. So obviously TV commercials, corporate narrations, business videos, brand videos. If you go to any company, they usually have like an about us video, and there's a voice behind it. That's voiceover. Maybe you guys have seen some of the Manscaped commercials. I voice those. Maybe you've seen some I Buy Direct commercials. I also voice those. But anyways, those are all voiceovers as well. And then it gets even bigger. Anytime you called a phone line and somebody's like, thank you for calling this business. For this, press 1. For this, press 2. That's voiceover. E-learning. I know we hate e-learning. Any type of online course. For example, I just voiced for Pizza Hut not too long ago, and also Wendy's. Their e-learning content. That's also voiceover. Basically, that's what voiceover is. So don't just, box it into, the Dragon Ball Z or Pixar movie voice acting. Everybody knows you go see something like Moana and you got fucking The Rock voicing, what is the dude's name? The big burly dude in Moana is like, what can I say except you're welcome? Something like that. That's voiceover, even though it's singing. How did I get into VO? I got into VO on accident. It was 2020. My wife and I had left Korea. If you guys don't know, I'm in Korea. It's now 12:45 a.m. recording this. And my wife and I left Korea in 2020 for a job opportunity. I just graduated with my MBA, and I had gotten an offer for a marketing position. And so we decided to go back to the States, January 2020. And as everybody knows, what happened in January 2020, fucking COVID happened in 2020, which essentially made everybody get fired. I managed to survive until like July, but the writing was on the wall. People were getting laid off left and fucking right, dude. Like talking about people who were good at their job. And I was like the new guy in. So I just said, you know what? I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice. And I decided to do digital marketing as a freelancer. It was hard, monetarily, financially, because we had a little nest egg saved up, but it was like, fuck, what are we going to do? Nobody was hiring, everybody was firing, and I needed a way to sustain us, especially since I moved us all the way from Korea to the United States and burned a lot of money doing that. And then I stumbled across a video from DeWees, and I've mentioned this in previous voiceover videos, and I'll link DeWees' YouTube channel in the description below. Great guy, great voiceover coach, lots of free information on his channel. This is not a DeWees plug, but he literally is what got me started in my career, and I can't thank him enough for showing me the way. And now I'm kind of forging my own path, doing things my way. But yeah, I found his videos late at night when I was stressing about money, and he was talking about, yeah, anybody can be a voiceover artist, voice actor. Anybody can do it. I'm like, anybody can do it. I can do it. I'm like, what is voiceover? So I already had some equipment, from doing this YouTube channel. So I just went into my closet. I set up a Fiverr account and I got a job in like 24 hours for $75. I was like, holy shit, somebody paid me? And listening back, dude, it was fucking terrible. I still cringe when I hear that voiceover. It was fucking terrible. That's basically how it started. Long story short, I fumbled my way around, learned a lot of stuff in DeWees, got coaching, and in January of 2021, my wife and I moved back to South Korea, and I've been here since, and I do voiceover full-time. That's how I got started. A lot of people ask, how much do I work? How many hours does a voice actor work? Firstly, there are literally probably hundreds of thousands of voice actors around the world, guys. I am just one of many. My mileage is different from everybody else's. How often do I work, though? My average weekly, actually in the booth, editing audio, recording audio time is about somewhere between 15 to 30 hours. 30 hours is pushing it. Usually it's about 20 hours. And it feels like a part-time job is what it feels like. And it's nice. It's it's so nice, dude. Like coming from 40 to 50 hours in marketing to, 15 to 20 hours in voiceover and still making way more than I was making as a marketer is fantastic. Which brings the question, how long will you work? At the beginning, I was putting in a lot more time than I am now, and that's because uh, you have to learn the processes of editing. You have to learn the processes of recording. There's things you have to know, and that takes time, and you have to get hours under your belt before you become fast and can do it quickly. So right now, I can record a script, edit the script, and send it off to the client very quickly. But when I first started, oh man, let me tell you, dude, it was terrible. Like an 8-minute video took me like 3 hours, bro. Like 3 fucking hours to record. Oh, that's not right. Re-record. Wait, how do I edit this? Re-record. Ugh. I didn't have good mic technique. I didn't know how to stop mouth noises. I didn't know. It was a mess. And you'll go through that, especially if you don't have any background in voiceover or acting or just audio visual in general. It's a steep learning curve. A lot of people get hung up at that point and they decide it's not for them just because it's so much work at the beginning. But if you can make it past that learning curve, it kind of, you know, gets easier as you get faster and, as work starts coming in, you just do it. And I can record and send off audio and I go back to playing with my daughter. Another job comes in, I'll, play with my daughter for a bit and pause and come into my room and record and send it off and go back to do whatever I was doing. It's so fucking nice, and it's given me a quality of life that many people dream of. I literally could do this anywhere in the world. I'm in Korea because that's where my wife is from. But I can be in fucking Bali on the beach, dude, and have my microphone in my hotel room and still record. As long as I got internet and a fairly good quiet place to record, I'm golden. And not many jobs let you do that, right? And not many jobs let you do that while getting paid like we get paid. On to pay. I'll be upfront and honest and tell you that I went full-time voiceover from September to December, September, October, November, December, 4 months. In 2020, my total revenue was about $1,900. In 4 months, I earned about $1,900. However, I had to buy a new laptop, a new MacBook, because my old MacBook couldn't handle the processing software. I had to pay for softwares. I had to pay for new cables. I had to pay for a new interface. I had to pay for coaching. I had to pay for a lot of things. I ended up spending like $4,000 in just that alone. So I was in the red for that first time. Fortunately, we had money saved up. So it's not a cheap endeavor to get started with. You can go with the bare bones minimum, but the quality of your audio and also your performance, if you're not getting any coaching, is going to suffer, and that's going to limit how much you're going to get paid. People get paid, commensurate with their experience and their equipment and their overall quality of the audio. So keep that in mind. It's okay to budget at the beginning because money's tight, but you want to work towards coaching, fixing your recording space, and getting a decent microphone ASAP. And do it in that order, really, because everybody wants to rush, and even I did, wants to rush and get the microphone first. That's not the way to go. The microphone, as long as it records the sound and the noise floor is pretty decent, you're good. Just focus on coaching, getting the performance right, and then focus on getting your space well treated. This is a professional sound booth here, so I'm pretty good. But if you have to record in your closet, I recorded my first 6 months in my closet. Second year, 2021, it picked up. My total revenue in 2021 was about $26,000. Again, far less than I was making in my digital marketing job and far less than I was making in most other jobs that I've worked in my life. I had savings, so that kind of supported us, and it was tight. And then last year, 2022, not going to give a specific figure, but I just crossed six figures doing voiceover. And I was shocked because I didn't work a lot. I told you, 15, 20 hours a week is what I worked. And I was getting paid very well for jobs. And so, how much money can you make? I know people who started the same time I did, and they're not making nearly as much money as I did. I also know a handful of people who started around me, and they're making more money than I made last year. So, it's such a wide range, man. I will say that the majority of people who get into voice acting from scratch, nothing, no background, no acting, no nothing, aren't going to do very well in their first and second year simply because there's so many things you got to learn. You know, you got to learn your software, you got to learn your microphone, you got to learn acting, you got to you got to read, and coaching. It takes time, and it's not something you can just wake up and be good at. Although I wish that was the case, it's not. Okay. Again, coaching is your most important thing you should focus on. You should always reinvest into coaching or workshops or something so you can, get to, the good performances and get the good money, right? I just landed my first agent with Wayman Talent, and I'm super stoked about that. I worked really hard to get to the point where I am able to get picked up by an agency, and they're a very, very reputable agency and a very well-known agency. So, um, it's just baby steps, man, and every day leads to the next, small success and small win so that you set yourself for the big wins later. For you, if you're watching this video and you're thinking about getting into voiceover, I know a lot of people focus on the video games and animation. I get it. I love anime. I love video games. I don't play them anymore, but that's not where the money is, at least early on. And that's also not where you're going to get the experience that you need. Your experience that you need to focus on at the beginning comes from commercial and corporate narration, business narration, and then e-learning, maybe audiobooks if you're a person who can sit in a booth for fucking 10 hours and sip your tea while you read a book out loud. That's not for me. I could pull my hair out. But actually, I can't pull my hair out because it all fucking fell out already. But you should really focus on your commercial performance and your narration performance. To get started in commercial and also business narration and just get your practice in, I would recommend going to things like iSpot TV. It's a website that curates all the commercials that appear like nationally, national commercials. I would watch those commercials and transcribe the scripts. 30-second commercial it's not very long. It's like 100 words. Transcribe the scripts, listen to the person reading it, and understand why they make the decisions that they make in terms of inflection and in terms of, pitch and, in terms of proximity to the microphone or, are they yelling out here or are they, bring it in real close like this for something more intimate. You should really pay attention to those techniques. Also, I don't recommend paying for coaching at the very beginning. Simply because, like, there's so much you can do by yourself. It's hot as fucking here. There's so much you can do by yourself that I would kind of um, use that opportunity in your own time to just practice, and try to find your voice, man. Like, it's not about the sound of your voice. Although, some people have nicer sounds than other. It's very subjective. Objectively, though, it's never really about the sound of your voice. It's about your performance because it is voice acting. Even a 15-second commercial is acting. You're telling a story in 15 seconds, and the listener has to believe what you're saying is true, even though you've probably never experienced what was happening in the script. So it is acting, and you have to approach it that way. So you can't just sit there and read the script like this because that's not acting. That's fucking reading, and anybody can read, but not everybody can act. Okay, but you can teach yourself a lot just by listening and emulating what other people are doing. And then once you feel comfortable reading a script, you can go through a 100-word script without fucking making a mistake and tripping over your tongue. Once you get to that point, then you can start looking at getting a coach or joining a coaching group. Your next step should be to decide if you're going to invest the time in this seriously, where do you want to make your money? This is a hot topic, man. Like, people have opinions about websites like Fiverr and Upwork, pay-to-play sites like voices.com, Voice123. People have opinions, but I'm gonna tell you like this. Do you, boo-boo. If you need money, do what you gotta do to support your family or support yourself. I don't think anybody should tell anybody else how they should make their money unless you're fucking breaking the law. That's how I approached it early in my career. I told you, my wife and I were scraping by. And I need to pay for things, coaching. I need to pay for microphones. I need to pay for all kinds of shit, bills. So I'm not going to sit here. No, I'm not going to work for free. No, I'm not going to, do free workshops. No, fuck that. I need money. So I started on Fiverr and Upwork, and I have pushed very hard to make Fiverr a better place for voice actors. I have openly petitioned to Fiverr, and I have a meeting scheduled with them to talk about these possible improvements for voice actors on the platform. I don't understand why a lot of people do the things they do on Fiverr as a voice actor. It doesn't make sense to me. But let me get off my soapbox for a second. You should definitely look at getting on Fiverr and Upwork because that's not necessarily going to make you rich at the beginning, but it will allow you to cut your teeth and get experience, reading and editing, getting small jobs and getting paid for your time, even though it's a couple bucks, man, like, per hour. I mean, like if you take the hourly wage, even if it's only a couple bucks, you're getting something because you do need to build your booth or buy a booth or microphone or something. Just working for free shit, man. Fuck that. No, get your money, man. But understand that your goal should not be to continue living your life that way for whatever your rates are on Fiverr. Mine are pretty fucking high. But you should be striving for more than that. You should be striving for, moving towards the pay to play so you can get larger, payouts. And then you should move from pay to place to getting an agent or multiple agents. You should do focusing on direct marketing, cold emails, cold calls, like, networking. You should be focusing on building your business because, as every voice actor will tell you, voice acting is a business. It's a small business. You're a small business owner. My business is registered. It's a registered business, DJ Dykes Voice Talent. So you should approach it as such. And you don't want to ever put the survivability of your business on or in the hands of a person or a platform like Fiverr or voices.com. Because if Fiverr fucking disappears tomorrow and you get 100% of your revenue from Fiverr, you're fucked. You know what I'm saying? But if you've been doing what you're supposed to do and finding your own clients and having an agent and stuff, Fiverr could disappear from me tomorrow. It could disappear. And will I take a hit in my revenue? Sure. But I'll survive and I'll do very well because I still have money coming in from other sources and it's much larger than I get from Fiverr. Do I not use Fiverr? No, I still use that shit because it's part of my marketing strategy. If you have any specific questions, drop in the comments and I'll put out videos to answer those questions. But there's so many things to talk about that I don't even know where to begin. Hopefully this is a good start for you and hopefully I answered some of your questions satisfactorily. If you have any questions you want to ask me in private, hit me up on email, dj@djdykes.com, and I'll be happy to answer and help you as much as I can. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. I'll see you next time.